Alright, welcome to a Wizardry variants Daphne guide video. This video will be about anything relating to rerolling, such as what legendary characters to go for, any non-legendary characters you should look out for, and routes you can take so you can cut down time as much as you can during rerolling. Whilst I'm going over things, the route will be playing in the background, playing at normal speed when there is something of note to talk about and sped up otherwise. Anyways, first off, when you get to this big bad demon, the game will push you to go to the right. Now, what you want to do is completely disregard the game trying to prolong your life because you want to kill yourself as soon as possible. So, run straight at the demon with no regard for your life. Alright, so after you get mollywopped by the demon and your corpse gets ransacked, you will be hit with a questionnaire which will dictate your alignment, not your stats. Your alignment will affect a select few characters with alignment passives. There are only 3 alignments: good, neutral, and evil. Neutral being, without a doubt, the best alignment as it allows you to qualify for all alignment-based passives. Alright, since gacha game players have no reading comprehension, I will tell you a quick and easy way to get the neutral alignment. First is when you see the God of Death, you select the middle option. Second is when you see Old Lady, you also select the middle option. There are a total of 10 questions and this question will always be the last one. Every other question, you can select the top option. You will then be met with a stat sheet for your MC. Your stats are randomly selected through a variety of stat presets of up to around 10. As you can see in the background, I'm rerolling for my desired stats, though you don't have to go with my exact ones. This is because you'll be able to freely change the class of your MC, so you should select the stats that benefit the class that you want for your MC. For example, this is the stat preset I went with, as it is more in line for a high physical DPS build with a good amount of survivability, which is what I personally want. Anyways, so after Lulunade flashes you and shows off her grippers, and you get to this door, your dialogue will suddenly not be skippable by just tapping, so just press the auto button when that happens and go back to breaking your fingers and developing arthritis. When this menu pops up, select these 2 options. When you get to your first green walking fart cloud, you want to run or strafe to the left, because you don't have to fight him. As soon as you hit the wall, walk backwards and you'll move on to the next room. Once you are in this room, you will be met by a random amount of potential encounters of up to 4, 3 and 2 being the most common. You can wait around to avoid these fights, however it will most likely take the same or more time than if you were to simply just fight them. Each fight takes around 15 to 20 seconds. Your best case scenario is 1 encounter, as the goblin in front of the chest is stationary, meaning that it is an unavoidable encounter. As you will see, I deliberately avoid the chest as it will give me a tutorial which also takes some time. The chest only gives a health potion which can be bought later for only 40 gold coins. When you get to these bandits, you want to focus on taking out the 2 on the side first before going for the 1 in the middle. This is to skip their attack animations and save a little more time, as the 1 in the middle takes 2 hits to kill, whereas the ones on the side die in 1 hit. After you are unwillingly forced to watch the public execution of a poor old woman and go to the ruins, you'll be introduced to the reversal mechanic, the game's summoning system. When you have reversed your first character, Lulunade will ask you for what you want your next character to be. I always choose Frontline Fighter as they have the most beneficial inheritables per unit in comparison to other class options. When you register the adventurers, don't bother thinking about the stats and just use the auto allocate to save time. Click supplies then special supplies after you're done. Don't bother clicking today's supplies as it doesn't give gems and will only waste your time. Now go to settings by clicking on the cog, then link data and then issue password. Then copy your ID by clicking on it. After you do that, click on the link in the description or pinned comment below to go to the official Wizardry web store and log in by copy pasting your ID and collect your 800 plus 50 weekly gems. After you have done that, go to your mail and collect your precious green rocks. After this inventory refill tutorial is done, you officially have free will over your own actions and you can finally start gambling. Hooray! While you are rolling, non-legendary characters you should look out for are Benjamin, Dino, Asher, Flute, Chloe, Amelia, and Marianne. I'm not gonna get into the specifics right now because I'm not gonna lie, I'm kinda tired and I wanna wrap this video up. Also because I still have to talk about the legendary characters, which will be right here. And by the way, when you select buy nothing, don't worry, the bone picker won't disappear, he will just be chilling here for a good bit. Now let's get into the legendary characters, starting off with Adam. He's a top 2 standard banner unit and a top 3 unit in the game as of the date of this video's release. This is because he can nullify element disadvantages with his unique inheritable skill, his MP and SP cost reduction for mage spells and skills between the cost of 3 to 10, and his discipline focus being magic power and speed, both stats being ideal for a mage. Next is Geralt. I hate this guy. Every time I see him in my summons, I become 1% more racist than I already am. And that's saying a lot. Anyways, his unique inheritable is locked behind the requirement of using a two-handed blunt weapon, which knocks a lot of points off for me, as that weapon archetype is kinda booty cheeks. Another reason is that his unique skill is also aggressively mid, as it only increases accuracy when he uses a two-handed weapon. The only good thing really is his discipline, which focuses on shorty and attack. But yeah, other than that, he's kinda due to water. So on to the next unit, which is Alice. She is the top 1 unit in the standard end game in general, in my opinion. Though you can interchange the rankings between her, Adam, and the other top unit being Shelly Ronarch. I rank her this highly because of her unique inheritable, which increases the amount of turns, buffs and debuffs from her last, whilst also increasing her MP. Also her second unique skill, which increases everyone's damage in a row by roughly 10% if there are only evil or neutral allies in said row. Her only downside is her discipline, which is slightly lacking with a focus on divine power and magic defense being the only letdown. However, her 2 unique skills more than make up for it, solidifying her as one of, if not the best unit in the game. Of course, in my opinion. Now, onto Deborah. I would rank her 4th out of the standard legendaries, as her unique inheritable grants attack power up and the SP regen on kill, meaning she can spam more high cost skills to make up for a lower power stat. On top of her unique skill providing MP/cost reduction on all thief spells and skills that cost 3 to 10. Her discipline provides a focus on attack power and paralysis tolerance, which kinda sucks, even more so because she can regen lost SP. I do not rate her highly in terms of being on the same tier as Alice and Adam, but she comfortably is in the tier right below. This is because I would rather inherit her skill over to any of my other physical attackers, such as my fighters, as they will take advantage of the SP regen just as well, if not better than Deborah, even if its effectiveness is cut in half. With that being said, we move on to Yekaterina. She's okay. She's good early game with her increased damage to undead enemies and also a chance for ambush prevention, but other than that, she doesn't really have anything else going for her. Personally, I think she becomes kind of subpar in comparison to Adam, and her most noteworthy skill being the ambush prevention is inheritable, so you might as well slap that on Adam or any other top tier mage. Though she still places at around top 5 for all mages in the game. Last but definitely not least is Lanaville. She is easily top 3 among Adam and Alice, because just like Alice, her unique skill is an alignment based passive that boosts a row's damage if they are only good or neutral by 10%. Oh wait, it's actually 8% according to the wiki. Oh damn. That's really strange how it's not consistent with Alice's buff of around like 10%, but whatever. Either way, it is still a passive damage increase, which will always be in effect. Anyways, another reason why she is a top pick for standard characters is because she is one of the best quality of life characters in the game, with her unique inheritable which heals all allies at the end of the battle, which saves you a lot of potions and can free up your inventory slots during dungeon expeditions. This skill starts at a flat 12 HP after every battle, which might seem a little low, but trust me, you will thank that constant passive healing. At max skill level, this goes up to 85 HP after every battle. Her only downside really is her discipline, which focuses on defense power and confusion/charm tolerance, and her being a knight, as knights do not really have a place in the game yet and is currently probably the worst class. However, you can mitigate the downsides of her class by using a class change to change her into a fighter, making her much more stronger. She is for sure the best legendary for people who are just starting out and want an easier, more casual friendly experience. Alright, that is it for this video. I didn't get into the non-standard characters as it would take way too much time, and I'm trying to get to bed and keep this video short. Also, while I say that one character is better, the actual difference isn't that large. The absolute most important thing at the end of the day is your team comp. Because if your team comp cannot cover certain fields, you're going to have a very bad time. So, if you guys want a solid guide for how to build teams, I highly recommend XX your boy GXX's video on team composition and how to build one. You can find his video linked in the description and pinned comment down below, and tell him that I sent you. Anyways, that's a wrap for this video. If you found this video helpful, absolutely smash that like button like you are throwing a 2-year-old infant named William into a den full of lions. I don't know why I went with the name William. Anyways, stay blessed, and I'll see you later.